Part 37. The Space Doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Kandi. Chapter 361. Kui Hejin looked at Zhang Ziluo's dazed expression and asked softly, "What's wrong, are you tired? If you are tired, we will go back first." When Kui Hejin looked at Zhang Ziluo, there was a look of tenderness and pity in his eyes. Zhang Ziluo came back to her senses and said with a smile, "You are treating me like a child. I'm not that fragile yet. I just suddenly thought of my mother and my sister. I don't know how they are doing in Donghe village. And my mother's brothers and sisters. It should be snowing in winter over there now. The village must be very lively. The north is very safe now, and it is under the control of grandson Yun Loxio. Yun Loxio changed many government decrees, reduced taxes, encouraged farming and mulberry farming, and encouraged land reclamation. The arrangements for local officials are also reviewed and inspected step by step. Only if there are no problems will they be arranged so that they can truly work for the people. Also controls prices in the market. Situations like the previous cases where grain stores in towns bullied people and deliberately monopolized prices to drive up prices are absolutely not allowed. Once found, deal with it directly and seriously. Moreover, he sent special personnel to explain it in various towns and villages. Let farmers understand this matter and let them know how to protect their rights and interests, etc. There are a lot more. Many markets have also been opened. Some city gates require people to collect some copper coins before they can be let through. Now we are determined not to allow guards to bend the law for personal gain. Yun Loxio also said that he will find ways to open up border trade and promote economic development later on. So the appearance of the village today should be different. Kui Hejin looked at the direction to the north and whispered, "It should snow." At this time of the year, there would be a thick layer of snow. When it snows, it's freezing cold, and everyone stays at home and doesn't go out. Although the weather is cold, people in the village like snow in winter. Heavy snow means there will be a good harvest for the crops in the second year. Auspicious snow heralds a good harvest. But it's snowing so hard that early the next morning, everyone in the village will get up and clear the snow. Zhang Ziluo's expression changed. "It's so good for everyone to stay at home, why do we have to go out to clear the snow?" Kui Hejin burst into laughter. "Get used to it. Even if no one goes out, everyone is used to sweeping the snow from the door of the yard, but a thin layer of snow will fall soon. If it rains harder, the snow will be very thick. Because no matter what, if you clear a way out, it will be much more convenient if someone goes out and walks. If a family doesn't clear the snow, and the villagers see it, they may say behind their back that the family is lazy. People in the village care most about what others think." After Zhang Ziluo listened to it, she thought about it and felt that it was really the case. Just as Zhang Ziluo and Kui Hejin guessed. It really snowed heavily in Donghe village in the afternoon. Mrs. Kui and Kui Kinkai were busy looking after the shops in the town. Kui Kinkai is looking at the shop in the front and greeting customers, while Mrs. Kui is making bread and snacks in the kitchen at the back. Neither of them expected that business would be very good since opening the store. Especially now that we have entered the 12th lunar month, every household is busy buying New Year's goods and is willing to buy more things. "Miss Kui, do you still have any lip balm in your store?" Kui Kinkai explained. "Also, the new goods have just arrived. Things have been in short supply recently. If you come later, they may be gone." Speaking, Kui Kinkai took out the lipstick. There are only 6 bottles, and the color of each bottle is different. The well-dressed little woman looked at the new lipstick and chose a color, thinking that another color would also look good. "Want to buy any of them?" The Space Doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Kandi. Chapter 362. Kui Kinkai was not surprised when she looked at the little woman. This is true for everyone who looks at lipstick, no matter what color they look at. At first, When many people came to the store and saw the lip balm in their store, they were surprised and couldn't believe how there were so many lip balm colors. Of course there are also small trial bottles. Perhaps out of curiosity, everyone tried it out and were really surprised by the different colors. Everyone finds that no matter which color it is, it looks good. And girls find that they look whiter when they use light-colored lipstick. And everyone has discovered that when wearing clothes of different colors, you can use lipstick of different colors. The lipstick business in their store is very good. Of course these lipsticks today were made later by Mrs. Kui and Kui Kinkai. I also learned it from Zhiluo. Zhiluo also gave them detailed instructions in the letter. I also sent them some things from Zhangzhou. I could use more colors. A small bottle of lipstick cost 2 taels of silver, and many people bought it. When people come to buy lip balm, they think their store is quite novel, and they also look at the items on other shelves. When they found out that there was a scented shampoo, everyone was shocked when they saw how to use it. There is really no shampoo on the market. Some people buy it with hesitation and use it. The second time they come to the store, they buy a lot of bottles, saying they are for their relatives. She also said that after using their store's shampoo, her hair became soft and smooth, and it was not only clean but also had a light fragrance. In this way, the store gradually gained a reputation. Many people came to the store and bought a lot of things. Mrs. Kui and Kui Kinkai were both happy to see it. The little woman said, "The lipstick in your store is so beautiful and beautiful, with so many colors. I really don't know which one to buy." Kui Kinkai said, "You have fair skin, you can choose this color number 8, or you can choose this number 10 color." The little woman tried it out and it was really good, so she bought these 2 kinds of lip balm. The Chinese New Year is coming soon. In the first month of the year, when relatives are walking around, they naturally have to dress up more. This is natural. The little woman seemed to have thought of something and said, "By the way, do you still have brown sugar here?" The little woman covered her belly with her hands. She planned to use brown sugar during confinement. "The brown sugar in your store tastes delicious, and I feel good after drinking it. Last month, my eldest sister gave birth to a baby and used it during confinement. I thought it was good." Speaking of this, Kui Kinkai did not expect that the brown sugar business in the store was very good. Originally, she and her mother were worried that the brown sugar produced in the village would not be sold. But now there is no need to worry about this problem at all. Everyone feels that drinking brown sugar is good for their health and makes them energetic, so they are willing to buy it. Especially some women buy a lot. Furthermore, when some merchants see business opportunities, they will purchase brown sugar directly from them and sell it elsewhere. There is less brown sugar in the north. Coupled with the previous war, less brown sugar was shipped to the north, so brown sugar was scarce in the north and business was very good. In fact, everyone doesn't know that Zhang Ziluo added some spiritual spring water to the well in the village before going out, so the brown sugar made with the water from the well is naturally good. Of course, this reason also led to the development of Donghe village. Now the big guys in Donghe village have made at least 1 tael of silver from brown sugar. The villagers dare not think of this number. Everyone is grateful to Zhang Ziluo and misses her. They don't know when she will be able to go back. Everyone had smiles on their faces, and they all said they could buy more New Year goods. Kui Kinkai smiled and said, "The brown sugar will have to wait until it arrives tomorrow. It's the 12th lunar month now, and there are a lot of people buying brown sugar. There are also some merchants who have just placed a lot of orders with us. But you are an acquaintance of our store. When the brown sugar arrives tomorrow, I will keep it for you. Look at you. How much brown sugar do you want to buy?" As she was talking, Kui Kinkai looked outside the door and found that it was snowing. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The space doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Kandi. Chapter 363. Kui Kinkai looked at Dixu and said, "If it snows heavily tomorrow and the mountains are blocked by heavy snow, our store may be temporarily closed for the day tomorrow, and we will have to leave the brown sugar for the day after tomorrow." The little woman was surprised when she saw it suddenly snowed outside. "Is it snowing again?" Many people in the store were looking at the various shelves and felt the cold wind blowing from the door of the store. When they looked at the door, they were also surprised that it was snowing. "It's snowing. The snowflakes look quite big. It looks like it's going to snow heavily tonight. If this is anything like the heavy snowfall that just entered winter, it would be impossible to walk even under a thick layer of snow. No, no one wants to go out on such a cold day. If you can stay warm at home, stay warm at home. When it's snowing heavily and it's freezing cold, everyone likes to stay at home to keep warm. It's a bit cold when you go out. In this cold weather, people with better conditions can keep themselves much warmer by burning a kong or a charcoal fire at home. People in the village cut more firewood in advance to make preparations. When it's cold, burn firewood as hard as you can. Fortunately, there are many mountains and forests nearby, and there is a lot of firewood, so everyone can use more firewood to burn the kong. The kong is warmed, and everyone doesn't feel cold anymore. When the weather is cold, people in the village will hide under the quilt on the kong. The corn and peanuts will be put on the quilt with a dustpan. While everyone is covered with the quilt to keep warm, they will peel the peanut skins and peel the corn kernels with their hands. So everyone's work will not be affected at all. I will take advantage of the cold weather in winter to do more things. Because if spring begins, everyone will go to work in the fields. But Donghe village is different. The people of Donghe village work diligently every day to cook brown sugar even when the weather is cold. However, everyone is also worried that there will not be enough sugar cane in the forest by then. Many people have spontaneously planted some small sugar canes, and also plan to plant sugar beets in the wasteland on the mountains. Because Zhangziluo told everyone that beets can also be made into brown sugar. When everyone talks on weekdays, their words are full of gratitude to Zhangziluo. Old Mrs. Zhao's house in Liuhe village. Old Mrs. Zhao sat in front of the stove, burning firewood, and murmuring, "Dalin, go to the yard and get more firewood to pile up in the house. It's snowing outside, and the firewood is wet from the snow. When you light the fire, not easy to burn." Zhao Dalin nodded and handed the spoon to his brother. "Erlin, help stir it." Zhao Erlin took the spoon and carefully stirred the sugar cane juice in the pot little by little. As soon as Zhao Dalin walked out of the house, he felt a chill going straight to his neck. He shivered, shrank his neck, and hurried to the corner to move firewood. The cold wind is blowing, and if it snows, it will pick up a layer of flying snow. Some snow blew into Zhao Dalin's neck through the wind, bringing with it a hint of coldness. He quickly moved a pile of firewood into the house. The firewood in the corner of the yard is tied in piles with hemp ropes. At that time, firewood was cut from the mountains, piled together, and piled on a small cart to push it back. In this way, you can chop more firewood and bring back more firewood at once. Of course now people in the village will also go to Zhangziluo's father in Xinshan village to order carts. A small cart costs 100 cents. In the past, people did not have enough to eat and were reluctant to spend a penny. I would rather work harder than buy a stroller. But now everyone can make money by making brown sugar. Last month, Zhao Dalin calculated that his family made more than 1,600 yuan. He, his grandma and his younger brother were all very happy. This is a number they dare not think of. If you earn this every month, you can save a lot of money in a year. When life got better at home, they ordered a cart and a bellows. Almost every household in the village now has a bellows. After actually using the bellows, everyone understands how useful the bellows is. Just a little pull and the fire will burn very brightly. The first family in their village to buy a bellows was the Li Zheng family. Li Zheng's daughter-in-law, Mrs. Zhu, came out and said how useful the bellows was. It doesn't matter whether you use a bellows or not on weekdays, but if you are making brown sugar, using a bellows can save firewood, and the brown sugar can be boiled faster in the same time when the fire is strong. So everyone bought bellows after they had a little more money. Zhang Xiangchuan was too busy originally. Zhang Xiangchuan has received many orders. Some merchants went to the blacksmith shop and saw how useful the bellows were. Seeing the business opportunities, they ordered some bellows from Zhang Xiangchuan. When the businessman from other places went to Zhang Xiangchuan's house to fix the bellows, he saw the umbrellas placed in Zhang Xiangchuan's yard and thought they were very good, so he ordered a batch of umbrellas. This time the deposit is quite large. Zhang Xiangchuan was too busy, so he brought some apprentices. Some half-grown boys and young and strong young men in the village began to learn these jobs from Zhang Xiangchuan. Everyone called him master one after another, and they all studied hard and respected Zhang Xiangchuan. When Zhang Xiangchuan became a master, he didn't just teach his disciples something and then let his apprentices work for free. He sincerely taught his disciples the skills of craftsmanship. He will give the apprentice a commission for the bellows or umbrella made by his apprentice. Give some commission for each order. Everyone can make money, be more grateful to Zhang Xiangchuan, and study more seriously. Of course Zhang Xiangchuan's apprenticeship was not in vain. Having lived in Xinshan village for so many years, he has a very clear idea of whose family is what kind of temperament they have. He chose some people with good temperaments, diligence, and good moral character as his apprentices. Of course the parents of these people also know how to be good and sensible. So after Zhang Xiangchuan taught his disciples, these families were also grateful to Zhang Xiangchuan. Whenever something happens to the Zhang family, the other families in the village actively help with the work. It's still dark, and the water tanks in Zhang Xiangchuan's home are full. Every day before Ye started to work, Zhang Xiangchuan's apprentices helped clean the yard and they all rushed to work. Yip is also willing to teach them how to cook. They didn't expect that they could learn cooking skills from their master's wife. Cooking is also a survival skill. Everyone is grateful and it's natural to study hard. At this time, Zhao Dalin sighed that the cart was easy to use and entered the house with firewood. It's really cold outside. Mrs. Zhao said, it's cold when it snows. In a few days, we will go to the market in Yanglia village. If it doesn't snow, we will go to the market for a walk, buy some cotton, and make thick cotton clothes and quilts, so that we won't be cold anymore. If it were the past, how could Mrs. Zhao be willing to spend money? They never go to the market to buy anything. Eat only food grown in the home field, and only use what is available at home. Hand them carefully, and keep your clothes patched. Now she is willing to buy some things before the Chinese New Year. Zhao Dalin smiled and said, Grandma, it's okay, the room is not cold. We have been making brown sugar all day long, and we also burn the kong. We sleep on the hot kong at night, and it's not cold at all. These words are true. Having been boiling brown sugar in front of the pot and lighting the fire all day long, the room was very hot. The space doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Candy. Chapter 364. That's true, there is firewood burning in the house, so I don't feel cold. Even Mrs. Zhao is always smiling. Her eyes are kind and full of hope for life. The main reason is that my family's conditions are better now and I can still earn money. And it's not tiring to cook brown sugar. Much easier than farming. But no matter what, work in the fields must be done. At the beginning of spring, the fields should be taken care of. Because if you sow food, you will get food. You cannot rely on buying food to eat. The price of grain outside is not fixed. Sometimes when the price is very high, you can't even buy grain with copper coins. So for the villagers, having fields means they feel at ease. This way you can grow food to eat. Don't be afraid of not having food to eat. Farming the fields with food can give everyone a sense of security. Zhao Erlin said, "This year is good. I don't feel cold in winter, and I can still make money." Last month, Grandma went to buy meat and made meat-filled dumplings for them. It costs more than 20 cents for a pound of meat, which they would have been reluctant to buy no matter how greedy they were before. But now they can also taste meat fillings and eat meat dumplings with white flour. Even now, Zhao Erlin will have endless aftertaste when he thinks about that taste. Even during the Chinese New Year, he had never eaten meat dumplings. And the Chinese New Year is coming soon. Grandma said, "Celebrate the New Year well this year and buy more New Year's goods." Zhao Erlin was full of expectations. "So I am very motivated to work." Zhao Dalin smiled and said, "That's right, everyone is happy to make money by making brown sugar." Zhao Erlin said excitedly, "Brother, the key is that we don't have to travel far. We can do these things at home, and the work at home will not be delayed. When the farming is busy, we will be busy with things in the field, and when we are free, we will continue to make brown sugar." Zhao Erlin thinks this is good, and family affairs will not be delayed. "I know that people in the village used to go out to find work. They were far away from home, and it cost money to eat. It was very hard." Zhao Dalin actually tried to find work outside before. After asking about it, he realized how hard it was. It may be better if the owner is kind-hearted. If the employer has problems, wages will be withheld and whips will be used. Some people clearly went out to work, but when they came back half of their lives were gone, which is terrible. Still comfortable and safe at home. And I definitely feel homesick when I'm away from home. Even buying food is very expensive. They cook brown sugar at home without delaying anything, and they also eat at home. We must remember Sister Jiang's kindness. It's natural. Everyone in the village is grateful to Sister Jiang. I heard that Sister Jiang has gone far away and I don't know when she will come back. Don't worry, I'll be back. Your Aunt Kui and Sister Kui are still here. Not only the Zhao family misses Jiang's Hilua. Many people in the village miss her. So when Mrs. Kui and Kui Kinkai closed their shop and drove the ox cart home in the heavy snow, they found that the village had cleared a road from the village entrance to the door of their house. Kui Kinkai said, "People in the village must be helping." Mrs. Kui was also very touched. The reason why we chose this village to settle down was because although Donghe village is remote and poor, the village has a good atmosphere, everyone is sincere and kind, and the atmosphere is good. Help each other with anything. When your brother and I first came to the village, the small fenced courtyard we lived in was given to us by the villagers. Everyone gave us eggs and vegetables, and they were very enthusiastic. So now we have to start the business, open the store well, and also help the people in the village. Even Zhang's Hilua means the same thing. The villagers were grateful to them. In fact, Mrs. Kui and the others were also grateful to the villagers for their initial acceptance. We were not exclusive, but welcomed them warmly. Also give them things. Kui Kinkai held Mrs. Kui's hand firmly and said, "Mom, you worked hard at that time." Mrs. Kui sighed, "I thought it was hard at the time, but now that I think about it, I think it's all over. Fortunately, we chose to settle here at that time, and that's how your brother got to know your sister-in-law. After having your sister-in-law, life got better and better. I don't know how your brother and sister-in-law are doing." Kui Kinkai said, "If my brother and sister-in-law are together, it will definitely be fine, but I also miss my sister-in-law a little." Mrs. Kui also thought about it and hoped that they would come back soon. The two men went into the house and the ox cart, and then prepared to cook dinner. "Mom, let's have hot pot on a snowy day. I thought we would go together and have hot pot. Your sister-in-law told us before when she made hot pot for us that hot pot is the most delicious when it snows." After learning how to cook from Zhang's Hiluo, Mrs. Kui and Kui Kinkai would also cook these meals on weekdays. But every time they eat, they can't help but think of Zhang's Hiluo. It snowed heavily at night and the north wind howled. Mrs. Kui and Kui Kinkai made a hot bed and lay on the warm bed, sleeping well. The next day it was still snowing heavily outside. Kui Kinkai looked outside and saw everything was completely white. It's snowing so thickly. I can't go out due to the heavy snow. Fortunately, a notice has been posted at the door of the store. This way, no one will go to the store on snowy days. Mrs. Kui and Kui Kinkai rested peacefully at home. Of course they were not idle, but continued to make lip balm and shampoo. The business in the store is good and such things sell well, so they should seize the time to make more. Probably thinking of Zhang's Hiluo, they felt that they were motivated to run this store. They originally bought this store for Zhang's Hiluo. Xingshan Village. When Zhang Xiangchuan and Ye woke up in the morning, they found a thick layer of snow falling in the yard. It looks like it snowed quite heavily last night. It's cold in the north. If Hiluo is in the south, it shouldn't freeze. Zhang Xiangchuan and Ye could not help but miss Zhang's Hiluo at home. But they also know that there is something Zhang's Hiluo wants to do, and they must support it. Yes, she said, do you think Hiluo remembered everything? When Zhang Xiangchuan heard these words, his expression changed and he said solemnly, if that's the case, it means that her seal will also be lifted. Once the situation is lifted, the master's people will definitely be able to find her. Ye couldn't help but think of what happened back then. Her master is not the real third lady in the house. Of course the third lady in the mansion is actually the master's secret guard. Master Wei San knows it, General Wei knows it, and maybe no one else knows it. After she got together with Zhang Xiangchuan, her master let her go and live. She was reluctant to leave her master at that time, and the master said that was an order. Later, something happened to the Wei family, and they returned to the Wei family anxiously. But before they could wait for the Wei family, the master found them, handed the young lady into their hands, and explained many things. She and Zhang Xiangchuan were both shocked at that time. But in order to protect the little lady, they must obey orders. Later, they hid in the fleeing team and learned the news that a fire broke out in the Wei mansion that night. The space doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Candy. Chapter 365. Ye and others were shocked when they heard that there was a fire in the Wei mansion and that the Wei mansion was burned to ashes overnight. They wanted to run back. But they kept in mind what their master said and what he told them. The master said, no matter what happens or what you hear, don't go back. Once they go back, they may all die. Do as she says and live incognito. They cried a lot at that time. Because they were afraid that something might happen to their master in the fire. After they cried, they took the young lady and their children into the fleeing team anonymously, and lived in Xingshan village. The young lady was also ill at that time. They knew that was the reason for the seal. The master placed a seal on the young lady. Under the seal, the little lady will forget everything. But it was probably due to the seal. When the young lady woke up, she became a little ignorant and naive. Not as smart as before. But to them, she is their treasure. The person they want to protect with all their heart. Of course they also ask their children to love and respect the young lady. They dare not reveal too much of their abilities for fear of being known and found. So they live a step-by-step life just like normal farmers. It wasn't until later that the young lady got married, and suddenly she became smarter. They speculated that the power of the seal might have been loosened. I don't know how the master is doing now. Master said that if all the seals are lifted, it means that the young lady should bear her responsibility. The master has arranged everything. Just put whatever else the master left behind. Leave it there without moving it. We will give it to the little lady when she asks. At every step, they did what their master told them to do. this side of Guanglin Forest. Zhang Ziluo naturally didn't know this. Zhang Ziluo and Kui Hejin discussed whether it would snow in the north. After discussing for a while, the two men went to dig wormwood nearby. Mugwort can be used to make many foods. Use coconut milk to make mugwort and taro ball milk tea. Use mugwort to make small glutinous rice and make milk tea. It will be delicious. And coconut meat, there is no need to buy these materials. Under Xiao Yan's instructions, Zhang Ziluo went to dig some mugwort. I wonder if there is any other food. At this time, Xiaolan said excitedly, Master, Master, there is konjac in front of you. When she heard about konjac, Zhang Ziluo was stunned for a moment. When I realized what konjac was, I became excited. Zhang Ziluo used her mind to communicate with Xiaolan, which direction are you going? Master, go north. Zhang Ziluo took Kui Hejin and walked north. After a while, she saw a konjac field. Zhang Ziluo began to dig the ground and dig out the konjac from the ground. Such a konjac is so big that it cannot be held with one hand. Kui Hejin looked at the things in Zhang Ziluo's hands and was a little confused. He had never seen anything like this. However, according to Zhang Ziluo's behavior, he guessed that this was also food. Is this also food? Zhang Ziluo nodded excitedly and said, yes, this is food, called konjac. It is delicious when made. It can be stir-fried, stewed, eaten cold, and can be made into konjac tofu. Zhang Ziluo was a little happy when she thought of the delicacies made from konjac. She came to Zhangzhou from Donghe village and had never seen this kind of food. Haven't seen it in the market. Does it mean that people don't know that this kind of food can be eaten? Perhaps it's also because when you clean konjac, your hands will itch when you come in direct contact with it. But this is really food. Konjac is also called konjac because it changes a lot when cooked, just like magic. Magic is a trick. There were no magic performances at all in this era, just street tricks. This way Kui Hejin will understand. I've never seen food like this before. Zhang Ziluo said excitedly, I will make delicious food for you after you pick it. You will know how konjac tastes after eating it. Zhang Ziluo was also very happy when she thought of making konjac for Kui Hejin. She just thought about making delicious food for him in various ways. Kui Hejin helped dig some. Tear off the konjac and put it in the basket. After the two large backpacks were full, Zhang Ziluo secretly put some into the space, and then walked back with Kui Hejin. This area is full of konjac. I can tell everyone in the tribe later so that everyone can dig konjac too. Such a large area, each konjac is large, can also allow the tribesmen to taste this food. But Zhang Ziluo thought to herself, there are tens of thousands of people in the tribe, and it is useless to rely on this alone to survive. We still need to plant more land. Each household should grow several acres of food to ensure that they don't go hungry. Fortunately, under the management of fourth brother, everyone in the tribe has cultivated fields and cultivated crops in recent years. Everyone is also very diligent and cherishes the food harvested after farming. It was still early after Zhang Ziluo and Kui Hejin returned, so the fourth brother did not notice that they were out. Her fourth brother is still training the tribe's team. The tribe occupies a large area, and even training is very hidden and will not be discovered by others. In the forest, each tribe has its own local territory. However, every time it rains or when food is scarce, some tribes will invade other tribes to obtain food. Some weak tribal groups can be easily wiped out and lose their lives easily. After returning, Kui Hejin accompanied Zhang Ziluo and began to clean the konjac. After washing the konjac, peel it. They peeled all the konjac. After peeling, Zhang Ziluo took out the grater. This is something taken out of space. Then use the grater to grate the konjac into fine pieces. They were busy doing this in the yard, and the tribesmen didn't know it. Fortunately, we built a wooden house like this. It has a yard and is relatively well hidden. Zhang Ziluo didn't want everyone to come and watch when she was doing things in the tribe. That's very unfree. I heard that a long time ago, when everyone could only live in caves, everyone could see everything they did. Because everyone was busy doing whatever they were doing, cooking and bringing back any food, all on the ground below the cave. So there are almost no secrets in the tribe. It was only later that the fourth brother came to the tribe and led everyone to build these wooden houses. After everything is mashed and grated into shreds, pour the gracilis into a pot filled with water. So much, it can't be filled in one pot at once. Let's get these first, these are enough for 2 or 3 days, we'll get those later. Then boil some plant ash water and pour it in. Mix these pieces with plant ash water and boil them in a pot for an hour until they become thick. After that, it is left to cool. Let it cool and solidify tomorrow. It's time to make food. After Wei Hanzhou finished his work, he came over to take a look and found that his sister had placed some things in the yard. Younger sister. Wei Hanzhou felt relieved when he saw Zhang Ziluo coming out of the house. Are you going outside? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Space Doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Candy. Chapter 366. Zhang Ziluo was afraid that her fourth brother would be worried, so she quickly explained, I just went to walk around, it's not far away. But fourth brother, I found a large area of konjac. I feel like we can produce at least tens of thousands of kilograms. And these konjac are big and can be used as food. When he heard the food, Wei Hanzhou's expression changed. Are these food? I've never heard of them. He understood that since his sister said it was food, then this thing must be food. If the tribe suddenly had more of this food, it would still be tens of thousands of kilograms. You can imagine what it would mean to the entire tribe. And where such konjac is found, a batch of konjac will naturally grow every year. Indicates that the tribe will have one more kind of food like this. And it's not far from the tribe. Wei Hanzhou was also happy to hear this. It's just that I don't know how to cook and eat this kind of food. Zhang Ziluo said, first make the konjac tofu. After it solidifies, you can cut it into pieces and stew it into soup, eat it boiled, stir fry and eat it cold. Zhang Ziluo simply told her fourth brother how to eat it. After it cools down tomorrow, I can make a salad or stew the chicken. By the way, fourth brother, you can ask the people from the tribe to dig more konjac at the place where we dig konjac tomorrow. Wei Hanzhou believed in his sister and knew that if his sister said it was food, it must be food. As if thinking of something, Zhang Ziluo said, by the way, there is also mugwort. Mugwort can also be used as food. Wei Hanzhou remembered that there were a lot of mugwort growing in the mountains and forests. It's just that he always thought that mugwort was a plant used to ward off evil spirits during the Dragon Boat Festival. You can also use mugwort, which is also a kind of medicinal material. Some people like to use mugwort as a sachet, and some people also use mugwort as a medicinal bag. But I have never heard that mugwort can be used as food. Zhang Ziluo looked at the fourth brother's expression and knew that the fourth brother probably didn't know. Just like when she first took Mrs. Kui to cut wormwood in Donghe village, Mrs. Kui didn't know that there were many ways to eat wormwood. Fourth brother, look, we have also cut a lot of wormwood there. I will make wormwood dumplings and make milk tea later. Fortunately, there are milk sheep in the tribe. Mainly under the management of fourth brother, there is a group of people in the tribe who specialize in managing pig pens, sheep, and cattle. There is a special place in the tribe where some sheep, pigs, and cattle are penned. These are also to ensure that the tribe has meat to eat. If you have cows and goats, you can milk the goats and use them to make milk tea. With the addition of pure natural coconut juice and coconut, it must be delicious. Perhaps everyone in the tribe will also like this way of eating. Wei Hanzhou looked at his sister's excited expression and laughed dumbly. I think my sister is suitable to be the leader of the tribe. Zhang Ziluo quickly waved her hands and said, no, fourth brother, I can't be the leader of the tribe. I just know how to get some food. If you ask me to worry about various things in the tribe, I won't be able to worry about it. This must be very hard. Wei Hanzhou stepped forward and touched Zhang Ziluo's hair and said, just do what you like. Fourth brother is reluctant to make you work hard. Fourth brother asked you to come to the tribe because he wanted you to be a princess easily, but you have a lot of work to do. But it's okay, everyone in the tribe will respect her very much. Zhang Ziluo said, it's not hard, fourth brother, it's very nice here, the tribal atmosphere is good, it's neither hot nor cold at this time, and you can have a good rest at night. This season is much better in summer, it will be very hot here. The space doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Candy. Chapter 367. In the past, there were people in the tribe who couldn't adapt to the heat and would suffer from heat stroke. But now our tribe lives next to a waterhole and there are waterfalls. Places with water are cooler and less prone to heat stroke. Now that coconuts are available, everyone feels refreshed when drinking coconut water. Even I like drinking coconut water. If it comes to summer, with this kind of coconut, it will be easier for everyone to survive the hot season. Wei Hanzhou looked calm when he said this. But when Zhang Ziluo looked at his expression carefully, she knew that the fourth brother must have suffered a lot in order to adapt to the environment here. Fourth brother, are you not used to coming here at first? They have been living in the capital, and they will definitely not be able to bear the sudden adaptation to the hot climate here in Guanglin. Her fourth brother's skin used to be very fair, but now he is a little tanned, with a bit of bronze. Looking healthier and sunnier. Probably due to the sun. I was a little uncomfortable, but I'm fine now. I have adapted to living in the forest for so many years. Zhang Ziluo chatted with her fourth brother, then pointed to the konjac in the big basin next to her and said, fourth brother, look, this is ready. After cooling and letting it stand, it will solidify tomorrow and you can cut it into pieces. Cut it into pieces, just like tofu. It's the gray konjac tofu. Can be cut into long strips or into small pieces, stewed in soups and stir-fried. Just talking, the smell of konjac flashed in Zhang Ziluo's mind. Wei Hanzhou nodded. If it weren't for his sister, he probably would never have thought of this kind of food. Have never seen it anywhere else. Zhang Ziluo probably also understood that there might not be such a thing on the market. Foods like gongke yam are not available on the market at all. The common people may not know it either. Wei Hanzhou was stunned when he looked at some herbs beside him. Without Wei Hanzhou asking, Zhang Ziluo automatically explained, I dug some medicinal materials nearby. I think the people in the tribe don't know much about pharmacology. If we teach everyone to identify some basic medicinal materials, teach everyone how to use basic medicinal materials to prepare medicines, and treat wounds, some basic problems, the people in the tribe may be able to deal with them. If you have a headache or a fever, you will have to leave it to fourth brother to deal with any injury. Fourth brother, you will also be tired. Her fourth brother is not a machine. But these days in the tribe, she felt that her fourth brother was very busy. Even the time for eating seems to be squeezed out. I heard from people in the tribe that in the past, the fourth brother might have been too busy to even take care of eating properly. Oh, of course the tribe used to eat 1 meal a day. Occasionally eat 2 meals. It was also the fourth brother who changed the rules when he came and had 3 meals on time a day. The advantage of this is that everyone's health is much better, their physical fitness has improved, and their physical strength has become stronger after training. Won't feel dizzy due to hunger. Wei Hanzhou's expression changed and he said, this is a good idea. If everyone understands medicinal materials, knows some basic prescriptions, and can deal with some simple injuries, it will be really good for the tribe. Because some people's injuries will become serious if their wounds are not treated in time, and they may even develop a fever. He felt that his sister was still as smart as when she was a child, and all her ideas were as good. I will tell everyone later that if anyone is willing to learn, let them learn from you. Zhang Ziluo's eyes lit up, then I can set up a simple private school here. Just as Zhang Ziluo was talking to her fourth brother and thinking about making milk tea for her fourth brother later, she heard a gentle girl's voice. Hu, are you at home? The space doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Candy. Chapter 368. Hearing such a gentle voice, Zhang Ziluo was stunned for a moment. She even suspected that she heard it wrong. There was a girl's voice, calling the fourth brother Hu. Such an intimate title. Zhang Ziluo glanced at her fourth brother. Fourth brother, I'm calling you. Zhang Ziluo said, blinking at her fourth brother and raising her eyebrows. When his sister looked at him with such eyes, Wei Hanzhou, who was originally serious, laughed and looked embarrassed. Fourth brother, who is this? It's Wu Xiaoyu. Upon hearing this name, Zhang Ziluo's expression changed. Is it the witch that everyone in the tribe was talking about? It's the young witch. Is it she who figured out so many things and asked everyone to save the fourth brother? How old was she years ago? Are you as old as your fourth brother at that time? If so, it would be great. Hu, aren't you here? Zhang Ziluo hurriedly pulled her fourth brother out and said, Fourth brother, please say something. I just want to make something delicious tonight, let her come and eat with me. I want to thank her very much, and then support the fourth brother and help the fourth brother. Although Zhang Ziluo has never seen this woman before. But after hearing some words from people in the tribe, she understood that this woman had helped her fourth brother a lot. Everyone in the tribe believes in gods, and the status of witches in the tribe is very important. Wu unconditionally supported the fourth brother, and the fourth brother ruled the tribe more smoothly. Of course that's because the shaman priest can calculate and has real abilities. Wei Hanzhou was pulled out of the house by his sister. He walked to the door of the wooden house next to him and said, Xiaoyu. Wu Xiaoyu turned around and saw Wei Hanzhou, with a look of surprise on her face. Zhou. I just came out of the cave to retreat and found out you were back. Are you okay after being out for such a long time? Wei Hanzhou said, It's okay, everything is fine, you don't have to worry. Zhang Ziluo noticed that her fourth brother would lower his voice when talking to this girl. And such a title shows that the relationship between the two people is relatively close. Moreover, the moment Zhang Ziluo saw this woman, she was stunned. The woman looks to be 18 or 19 years old, with slightly bronzed skin, and exquisite bone ornaments on her body, giving her an exotic beauty. It is really eye-catching, and it is different from the beauty of the women from Yun Kingdom. And her eyebrows are gentle, giving people a very comfortable feeling. It turns out that this is the witch that everyone in the tribe calls witch. Wu Xiaoyu focused on Wei Hanzhou at first. But when she felt an unusual sight, she followed the feeling and looked over, and then saw Zhang Ziluo next to her. Her eyes also lit up, so beautiful. Wu Xiaoyu has never seen a woman as beautiful as the woman in front of her. She looked a little excited. Wei Hanzhou explained, this is my sister. Wu Xiaoyu showed a happy look on her face and said, well, I heard Zhou mention that it's great that Zhou found his sister. As she spoke, she walked towards Zhang Ziluo and said sincerely, Sister, you are so beautiful, like the sun god. Zhang Ziluo knew that everyone in the tribe worshipped the sun. It is also a tribal god. When everyone makes sacrifices, they sacrifice to the tribal god. Zhang Ziluo said flattered, No, I am a human being, not a god. But I think my sister is beautiful. Even women feel beautiful when they look at it. And there will be no aesthetic fatigue. Very unique beauty. It is estimated that only in such a tribal place can there be such a woman. No wonder the fourth brother is a little shy when talking to others. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The space doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Candy. Chapter 369. Because Wu Xiaoyu is cheerful and enthusiastic, Zhang Ziluo quickly became familiar with Wu Xiaoyu. Zhang Ziluo also felt that Wu Xiaoyu also had a kind of magical power that made people feel very kind. The two of them also called each other elder sister and younger sister. Sister Wu, you're here just in time, let's eat here later, I'll make something delicious. Thank you, sister, I'm not polite about that, sister. Wu Xiaoyu was also very happy looking at Zhang Ziluo, smiling heartily. Sister, if you need anything, I'll help you. Zhang Ziluo said, I dug some chrysanthemum, which can be used to make dumplings. There is meat at home, so making dumplings stuffed with chrysanthemum and minced meat is delicious. Chrysanthemum is also a traditional Chinese medicine. It can be used as traditional Chinese medicine or used in cooking. You can put chrysanthemum when making hot pot. In fact, making dumplings also tastes very good. Wu Xiaoyu's eyes lit up. I've heard people say that people in the north of Yun state like to make dumplings, but I've never eaten them. This is true, Wu Xiaoyu has heard of it, but has never eaten dumplings. She was very happy when she heard that she could taste such food. Zhang Ziluo's mind moved and she looked at her fourth brother. Haven't fourth brother ever eaten dumplings since he's been here for so long? Wei Hanzhou looked at his sister's look and explained, it's true that I have never made dumplings before. He taught the tribesmen how to make simple food from the food grown on the land. But I taught everyone how to make pimple soup, steamed buns, and noodles. As for making steamed buns, pies, and other stuffed foods, Wei Hanzhou doesn't know how to make them, and he doesn't know much about seasoning either. This is all thanks to my sister. When we were young, she would pull us to play and let us cook together. When we were young, my sister liked to tinker with food, and sometimes she would get them to cook and play together. In my sister's words, they will march and fight in the future, and may have to sleep in the wild. They must learn to make some simple meals, so that they can cook and eat while sleeping outdoors, so that they will not go hungry. Unexpectedly, I learned to cook from there, and it actually came in handy later. At least he can make simple pasta, knows how to make it, and can teach people in the tribe how to make these foods. Zhang Ziluo said, at that time, I heard what the gentleman said from the chef and thought it was wrong, so I asked my brothers to cook. I think cooking is a skill. As long as there are ingredients, no matter when and where, if you know how to cook, you will not starve to death. Wei Hanzhou smiled and said, that's true. After I came to the tribe, the food I ate was very simple and I really didn't have much appetite later. After I planted wheat, I took everyone to grind the wheat and use flour to make steamed buns and noodles to eat. I still remember the first time I taught everyone how to make steamed buns, and how excited everyone was when they were eating the steamed buns. Wu Xiaoyu nodded and said, it's true. At that time, I thought there was something so delicious. It's soft and sweet. After chewing it for a while, it smelled sweet. During that time, we all liked to eat the steamed buns dry like this and thought they were delicious, but who liked to eat them with vegetables. He said that the steamed buns should be eaten with vegetables, but he was reluctant to add salt. I think the steamed buns are delicious just eating them. Wu Xiaoyu talked about some food. It was only then that Zhang Ziluo realized that the tribal food culture here was very backward. Similarly, most of the people in the tribe are still in a state of food and clothing. Sister Wu, I will make dumplings for you tonight, and you will know how delicious they are. Wu Xiaoyu was very curious and excited, can I follow you and learn from it? Zhang Ziluo nodded and said, Of course. The space doctor became the favorite of the exiled powerful minister. Author, Fenyuan Kandi. Chapter 370. Zhang Ziluo is happy to teach Wu Xiaoyu. When Zhang Ziluo was about to knead the dough, Wu Xiaoyu said, "I know how to do this, let me help." Zhang Ziluo didn't refuse and asked Wu Xiaoyu to knead the dough. She also told Wu Xiaoyu some small details. Wu Xiaoyu began to knead the dough. Zhang Ziluo found that Wu Xiaoyu was very strong and was very skilled in kneading dough quickly and well. Her eyes lit up. Looking at Wu Xiaoyu's technique, Zhang Ziluo felt that she was suitable for making food like bean pasta. Maybe it's because the tribesmen are naturally strong. Zhang Ziluo watched her kneading the dough without worrying, while she started washing and chopping vegetables and meat. Luckily, she brings all the seasonings in her room, so she just uses the seasonings when preparing the dumpling fillings. Wu Xiaoyu quickly kneaded the dough, watched from the side, and sighed, "It smells delicious just by smelling like this. It will definitely taste delicious." Wu Xiaoyu was full of expectations. Zhang Ziluo also told Wu Xiaoyu how to prepare the stuffing. Wu Xiaoyu listened carefully. When making dumplings, Kui Hejin helps Zhang Ziluo roll out the dough. Looking at Kui Hejin's skillful movements, Wu Xiaoyu sighed, "Master Kui is really good at rolling out the dough. It's round and nice." When Wu Xiaoyu rolled out the dough, it was very slow at first and it was not so round. Zhang Ziluo looked at Wu Xiaoyu's serious expression and found it hard to imagine that she was a witch from the tribe. But she quite likes Wu Xiaoyu's temperament. Fourth brother talks less and is relatively calm, while Wu Xiaoyu has a lively and cheerful temperament, which is good. Moreover, Wu Xiaoyu is innocent, enthusiastic, and cheerful, and has a really good personality. Zhang Ziluo smiled and explained, "My husband used to help me roll out the dough and wrap it for me when he was in Donghe village. The dumplings he makes are also very good, Sister Wu, you can also make them with me." Wu Xiaoyu looked at Zhang Ziluo with an expectant look and said, "Is it really possible? I don't know how to do it, I'm afraid it won't be good." Zhang Ziluo smiled and encouraged her, "It's okay. I didn't know how to make dumplings at first. The more I make, the more I learn, and I'll be able to make them." There is always a learning process with Zhang Ziluo's encouragement. Wu Xiaoyu started to do it. Wei Hanzhou also washed his hands and rolled the skin together. He doesn't know how to wrap, he can only roll out the dough. 4 people can make dumplings very quickly. I quickly made 2 grates of dumplings. So many. Zhang Ziluo said, "There aren't many of these. If you can't finish them, cook them all. You can fry them in oil and eat them early tomorrow morning. Fried dumplings taste better." Zhang Ziluo prefers to eat fried dumplings. Wu Xiaoyu was even more looking forward to it. But Wu Xiaoyu is very smart and learned how to make dumplings after making a few. Zhang Ziluo couldn't help but praise, "Sister Wu, the dumplings you make are very good. Yeah. I just think the round dumplings are so cute. I didn't expect dumplings to be like this. I've never eaten it before, even though I've heard about it. It's better that you come here, sister, I can learn how to make dumplings from you. Sister Wu, you can come over as often as you have time, I'll cook more and you can come over and eat." Wu Xiaoyu was a little moved, "Sister, it's better for you, you will treat me like a normal person. A Zhou also treats me as a normal person, but other people in the tribe treat me as a witch, and they all look in awe when talking to me." She felt very happy that Sister Zhang could talk to her normally like this. It's also very relaxing here. If you talk to other people in the tribe like this, everyone will be scared. Zhang Ziluo can understand, this can be regarded as the culture of the tribe. Perhaps Wu Xiaoyu may not want to be a witch, but this is her responsibility.